Hi, I'm Erin McClellan. I'm a trainer based at Penn National Race Course and run throughout the Mid-Atlantic, usually through the year. And this is our barn. We're stabled in Barn 8 at Penn National, and we have a lot of good guys working for us. And I'll take you through and introduce you to some people and some pretty cool horses and kind of talk you through what a morning looks like for us here. All right. Come on in. This is up and down our shed row. We have horses on this whole side. I have a few on the other side. This horse walking here is actually not ours. But I'll take you down here to one of our horses that was good last year. She was Horse of the Year here at Penn National, so we're proud of her. And I'll introduce you to her groom. All our grooms are maybe the most integral part of what we do, because they're the ones that spend 6, 7, 8 hours a day with their horses. So they know them better than us, and sometimes if I don't get my hands on every horse every day, they'll come to me and they'll tell me, so-and-so is a little puffy here or there, or, they let me know what's going on with their horses, and they're really sharp and they're really in tune, and they know what their horses look like every single day. So they know when it's not the same, and they let me know. So if you come down here, this is Raul, and he grooms this section right here, and he's taking care of a couple of stakes winners for us. And actually the horse he's with now is a 2-year-old filly named Rachel. Rachel's Risk. She's named after a granddaughter, or a daughter of one of our owners actually, and we think she's going to be really nice. We have high hopes for her. So, and Raul every day is teaching her since she's a baby all the things, picking up her feet and wearing bandages and, all the things they have to learn to be able to handle on a regular basis. And then since we're down at this end, I'll introduce you to Fish. Fish has really been good to us. She won 6 races for us last year, and I'm excited about her for this year. So she hasn't had a chance to run yet, because when we were ready to run, we were shut down. So, because she had the winter off. So she came back early in the year and was probably ready to run about March, but hopefully soon we get the chance to see her out there again. So that's Fish to Fry. So every morning, I'll just keep talking. When the guys come in, they take all their bandages off their horses, and I have a board in the tack room, which I can show you with all the horses' names on, and I put who's training and who's walking and which rider. I have 3 riders generally that come in for us every day. Which riders getting which horses, and if I have sets that have to go together, like a lot of times young horses, like 2-year-olds, they'll train in company with each other. So they can kind of switch places on the racetrack, and they learn to get a feel for what it's like to have contact with other horses, and to be in tight with other horses, since when they're running there's going to be obviously times that things get tight. So I put that on the board, and then my guys know, which horses they need to tack up first and which rider they need to have a horse ready for. So if we come up this way, we have some barn favorites too that aren't necessarily, they're not our most fancy horses as far as the races they run, but this horse is Runaway, and he's definitely a cheaper claiming horse, and he is one of our greatest loves. So he's a really neat horse with personality, and he's really good to ride, and he loves being on the racetrack. So Lucy is the one that gets him every day, and she's out there for like 40 minutes, and we're always like, why won't she come back to the barn? But he just likes being out there, so she stays out there with him for a long time and just kind of lets him hang out, and he likes to watch horses train, and before he does his thing. So he's a neat horse. And then coming up through, this is another 2-year-old. Remains active courage, and she's shaping up to be pretty nice too, and just does all the things that you want a horse to do. She does everything so right. Our 2-year-olds now are mostly broke at Eagle Point Farm in Virginia, and they do a really, really good job. So if anybody ends up with any of my horses that I had when they were 2 that were broke there, you're going to get a horse with a really good foundation for riding. They do a great job. So this is is our messy tack room, and that's our clean tack room. But here's the board that I have everybody's names, and then you can see from today like which riders were. We worked a lot of horses today, so Tyler, who was kind of like my stepson, and his initials are there a lot today because we breezed so many. But that's kind of where everybody looks first thing in the morning, so they know what's happening. And then if you come up through, this is our groom Pedro, and he does a lot of work. He is like a superhuman being, actually. He can outwork almost anybody I know. It's very hard to keep up with him, but we have a couple guys that work on the gate or in the jocks room at night, so like Raul does and also Louis does. So he runs almost all of our horses when it comes to the nighttime racing. So we rely on him very, very much. And he's grooming Max right now. This mare is worth mentioning. I'll mention her, Chapel of Chimes. This is probably her last year running. She's been with a lot of people in Maryland and also here. Bernie Houghton, who's a trainer, longtime trainer here, breeds a lot of PA breds. He actually bred her and started her, and she's won 18 races and made like 360,000, I think, which is quite an accomplishment, especially here at our, in our level of racing. It's hard to make that much money when you're running in $10,000 claimers and $5,000 claimers. So she's really special to us. And she's just a racehorse. She's run for everybody that ever, had her, trained her. So we really love her a lot, and are looking forward to having some of her babies when she leaves here. Some people in the area know this filly, Ujjayi. One reason, she's by Smarty Jones, who has quite a following in Pennsylvania. And she won a stake for us last January at Aqueduct, and she turned out to really be a little star for us. So a lot of people have followed her just because she's a PA bred, she's by Smarty, and she's done really, really well. She's very sweet, and also has another side. So I'm very glad I'm not the person that has to get on her back in the morning, let's just say that. But she loves her people, and she really loves Louie, who has groomed her since she was 2, and she's 4 now. So, like I said earlier, the grooms developed quite a relationship with the horses, and so she's been in and out. She's had breaks through that time, but she always comes back, and we always make sure she comes to Louis. So he travels with her. He went to New York with her. He's been to Maryland with her, Delaware with her. She ran 3rd in the Delaware Oaks last year. So we're very, very proud of her, and very fortunate to have her in our barn. So this actually is her half-brother out of the same mare. So he actually ends up being the 4th baby I have out of that same mare. So that's kind of neat when over time you have generations out of the same mare. It's pretty fun, and we used to think that we've had 2 Smarty Jones out of that mare, and we used to think the streak in them that makes them kind of difficult was Smarty, and now we think it's the mama because he has it too, and he's by Fast Anna. So, and this guy, another worth mentioning, Hockey Puck. He is very much a people person, even though he's not going to act like it now. And he won the nursery stakes last December at Parks, so we're pretty proud of him too. He's out of a PA bred stallion also, well spelled, who stands at Godstone Farm in Littlestown. So that stallion has done a lot for us also, and we're excited about him this year. He hasn't run yet this year, so we're very, very excited about his future. He really is a people person. He really loves people a lot. So he's oftentimes playing with us, and he likes my hair, and he also is very attached to Louis. So he's a really neat horse, and he's pretty eye-catching because of his chrome. So people notice him when he's out on the racetrack. have Louie. This is Louie Guerreros, and I don't know how many years he's worked for us now. 4 probably. Since she was 2, so yeah, probably 4. So he's one of the neatest people I've ever known in my whole life, and very, very good with the horses, and has a lot of the old school ways that we don't see as much in grooms of the modern era. So okay. So we're very, very happy to have Louie. He really loves his horses. I groom a couple on the other side, so a lot of times in the morning when I'm tacking up horses or doing stalls, I hear him over here talking to his horses, and he has quite the conversations with them. So it makes my morning fun to listen to him. And so, that's our guys and some of our horses, and we train every day that the track is open. And John, who is my partner and my everything, he's on the other side shoeing a horse right now. But a lot of times in the morning, I stay in the barn and make sure sets keep going, and that horses are getting out and riders know what they're doing. And he stays out on the track most of the morning and watches them train, which is a very important component for us, so that we see them go and I get to see them cool out. So we always have one of us in each place, so that we have a good handle on how things are going. And most of them go to the track almost every day. So, but it's not fast like some people think that every day they just go out there and go fast. They don't. It's just, more than anything, it's regular conditioning. And with young horses, it's teaching them how to go from being just a baby that kind of gallops, I don't know how to say it, not in any kind of frame, and not really with any purpose, to a baby that starts to gain some fitness and starts to collect and starts to kind of use their body, and slowly they kind of transform from this little baby into a racehorse that starts to get more aggressive, and they really change. It's really neat how they progress from one kind of horse to a different kind of horse that wants to be a racehorse. So it's a fun process. But every day is definitely not about speed. It's more about daily conditioning than it is about speed. And then we put speed in there, every 7-10 days, or if it's a horse that's actually running. Sometimes we don't do speed work very much at all in the morning, and they just maintain that through racing. I wanted to just thank you guys for taking an interest in horse racing and what we do here. The horses get a lot of love on a daily basis, and most people have a lot of pride in what we do and how our horses present, and the job that we do. And so probably the most important thing to us, more than winning, is what the horses give back to us, just in the relationships that we have with them, because we spend so much time with them. So they really are kind of a part of our family. And so are the people that work with us. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time to have a look and see what we do. Thank you.